Predator Badlands is the ninth installment in the Predator franchise, and it was directed by Danny Trachtenberg. It stars Elle Fanning and Demetrius Schuster in lead roles. And the Predator franchise, it always has high hopes, and it has that built-in fan base that carries a bit of weight. But did it live up to expectations? Just got done with it in the theaters. Let's talk about it. We meet a young predator named Dex, who is exiled by his clan for being weak and almost killed by his father, but saved by his younger brother, and must prove to himself by hunting the unkillable Kalisk on the deadly planet of Gina. I really liked how the movie started off with a serious sort of tone. They kept it in the vein of the Predator franchise and really had compelling drama going in the beginning. Wasn't too bad. There he meets Thea after getting into a field of poisonous arrows and defeating a gigantic pterodactyl looking monster. They form a bond and continue on. Now, Thea is a damaged synthetic, and she was from the Weyland Yutani Corporation. They both try to work together to survive the planet's dangers. Everything tries to kill them. But then they come upon this like cuddly creature that Disney always has to put in every film. Really weird, really jarring tone. Also, I really did not like Thea's characterization. It felt like a Marvel character in a Predator movie. I don't know why they chose to really give such a jarring tone between those two, but it was more of a buddy cop movie. They name it Bud, I guess, and that was kind of Marvelish humor, really weird. And then Bud ended up spitting on Dex to mark him and make him a part of his clan. So they leave Dex behind and then end up in the Kashik's den, where they saw all these destroyed ships, and Thea ends up trying to repair herself, but then she confronts Dex about her twin coming to help take down the Kashik. Dex gets angry, he leaves Thea while she's trying to repair herself, and then he fights the Kashik. And let me say, that was a pretty good fight scene. The action set pieces in this movie weren't too bad, they were pretty alright. Tessa arrives and captures both the Kashik and Dex, takes them onto a ship, and they also start to experiment on Dex. Tessa helps Dex escape, and then Dex uses the planet's resources to create organic weapons. And that was probably the cooler part of the movie. And when he finally suited up as the Predator, it was pretty badass, I can't lie. There was some great moments and then some really jarring moments. It went back and forth. So he shows up at the base to get Thea, and he destroys many synthetics, and cool cutscenes, cool action set pieces, decent CGI. It wasn't too bad. Dex then realizes that Bud is the Kashik's child, and so he rescues Thea, and then they all go and rescue the Kashik. Tessa shows up in a mecha power suit, and then she's armed with Dex's laser weapon. She kills the Kashik by getting swallowed by it and then exploding outward from it. Didn't expect that. That threw me for a loop. And then Dex, after that ordeal, returns to Utah Prime with an older Bud and Thea, and has Tessa's skull as a trophy. He then demands his father to recognize him as a warrior, but he denies him. They attack each other. He kills 3 men and then kills his father and allows Bud to chop off his father's head. And that was the end of the movie. Also, in a post-credit scene type of spoiler for Marvel type of thing, his mother shows up in a mothership, Dex's mother, to the planet to confront him eventually in some sequel baiting. You know, Disney has to do that. Now, one of the main criticisms I have for this movie is the story structure and also just the characterization of a few characters. Thea really gave off this Marvel slapstick comedy type of energy, and it just really did not go with the tone that they set in the beginning of the film with Dex's brother sacrificing himself to give him a chance to find this beast. Also, the story structure was a bit jarring, especially for a Predator movie. I did not like the way things were paced in parts, so yeah. Now, compared to the earlier entries, the plot was a bit predictable with a bit of Disney flair thrown in. It followed familiar tropes of Disney movies, and it didn't really introduce any new significant lore or twist. Action sequences were competent, but they truly lacked intensity and originality compared to the other stuff. The atmosphere, it was a strength of the franchise. It felt less immersive. You know, we didn't have the Predator in the shadows too much, and he wasn't much of a threat. He had to build that. But I guess this is their version of the Predator. Who knows? All in all, it was a mid-tier movie. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. I'll give it a solid 5 out of 10. Compared to the other entries in the franchise of the Predator, this just doesn't hold much weight, especially with movies like Prey and then the original Predator and Predator 2. And I went on Rotten Tomatoes. They have the original Predator. It's ranked like 6th or 7th in the Predator franchise. I'm like, what the heck? I'm sorry, maybe three or four, but it's ranked low and it's very disappointing. Arnold Schwarzenegger in the original, it was an experience. So yeah, that's it for me. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all that good stuff, YouTube. I appreciate you listening this long. Till next time, we're out. Peace.